praise the Lord. We're about to come to the end of Mercury retrograde.
Not soon enough in my book, and I think pretty much everybody else's book as well. This has been a very frustrating Mercury retrograde for just about everybody. And wherever it is in your chart is where there's just misunderstandings, miscommunication, put the word miss in front of it, and it's just there. So what we want to be on the lookout for is where in our lives can that really mess us up. So for Aries, for them, it's in their first house of their physical self, so they have to be really careful not to be misunderstood by themselves, by partners, by anybody that they have any kind of interpersonal one-to-one relationship. If I had a meeting with you, I would then follow it up with my notes of the meeting saying, here's my understanding of what we talked about. Is that real or not? I would just make a conscious effort to make sure that I was not misunderstood. For Tauruses, no doubt about it, no matter what they say, it's going to be used against them. Doesn't matter how intense they are, it doesn't matter how specific they are. Mercury is in their 12th house. Their own words will be used against them. They might not say it the way they mean it. It might get misunderstood, but they're going to be the ones that bear kind of the brunt of, I really didn't mean that kind of thing. For Geminis, it's in their 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives. And Donald Trump needs to be really careful because Mueller has said that, oh no, you're not under investigation for criminal activity. Now, that just means he doesn't have enough evidence yet, is what that means. So,
he's hunting, though.
Oh yeah, he's on the hunt. And it's the Gemini's male friends that are coming under attack. Mm-hmm. And so the Gemini needs to just kind of sit back and let that happen. Not come to anybody's defense until they absolutely are sure what side of the fence that person is on.
Gotcha.
For Cancers, it's in their 10th house of career and public standing. And they're getting conflicting information about work, about professional changes. For some of us, their companies may have been bought. They don't know what the outcome is for them. And the best thing they can do is just stay down, keep their head down, and stay out of the line of fire. And again, not make any kind of commitments until Sunday when all of this stuff is over and then the new moon means time to straighten it all out. For Leos, they don't really care because they're having a great time. Every now and then a Mercury retrograde doesn't hurt them, and this is the one that is really not particularly difficult for Leos. And they get to slide something by that's not quite kosher. They get a break. They get a lucky break, and it may be through someone else's misfortune, but it ends up being very auspicious for the Leo, so not a bad time.
So far, it's
for
been
legal
good.
Educational matters. So you got to like that. Knock on wood. One more week of that. And then for Virgo, it's in their 8th house of other people's money, other people's resources. And the money gods are smiling on Virgos in one sense, and they're going to take that money and pass it right through and pay it off to someone else. But at least they'll have the money to make the necessary repairs. They won't have to scrape and scratch, gather their quarters together to make that happen. For Libras, it's in their 7th house of partners and intimate one-to-one relationships. And it's a good time for Libra to either partner up or clarify the terms of their partnership, which sometimes you really need to make it clear that where you are in the relationship and whose rights or what. That's really the big thing. And Libras have to realize that their partners have rights too, but they don't have more rights than the Libra does. For Scorpios, it's in their 6th house of work, health, and responsibility. And so for health matters, they need to get not one, not two, but maybe even a third opinion before they go ahead and go forward with something. And I wouldn't believe anything I hear until Sunday regarding that. And then there's some kind of work situation that is evolving, and they need to just wait until all of that is done, and then they know exactly what directives they should follow. And for Sagittarians, it's in their 5th house of pleasure, amusements, entertainment, love. Like Leos, they're going, this isn't bad for us at all.
Oh.
They're going, this is really not bad. I'm having a good time. The only thing you got to do is make sure people are what they say that they are. And be careful, especially for Sagittarius, not to get catfished. Because there can be some collusion, some sort of miscommunication regarding the people that they're playing with.
Gotcha.
For Capricorns, it's in their 4th house of home, and they've got stuff they need to do at home. They're not really sure exactly how to proceed yet. They're still in the gathering information stage of it, and before I commenced any kind of construction or destruction, I would be sure I knew where all of the load-bearing walls were, and that has not really been revealed yet to Capricorns. They have another week of doing that kind of research. For Aquarians, it's in their 3rd house of day-to-day living, and they have to be really careful not to backtrack, not to do the same thing over again, not to duplicate your efforts or your expenses. That's the only challenge with that. And to make sure when they do their research to not just ask one question on Siri, to go ahead and do the deep dive themselves to know what's real and what isn't. And then for Pisces, the last sign, it's about the money. It's about making more money. And they have to be careful not to be conned. They have to be careful not to be fast talked into something. It's the type of thing where you keep your hands in your pocket till you're done with the negotiation and don't go anywhere near your wallet until you're sure exactly what the price is and exactly what you're committing yourself to. So other than that, that's tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac, waiting for the end of Mercury retrograde this coming Sunday. So not soon enough as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and then we can turn it loose and roll.
And then we have, 90 days of unlimited fun.
Woo-hoo!
Gotta like that.
I like the sound of that.
Something
We'll
to
see
look
you
forward
next
to.
week.
Always a pleasure.